Welcome back to week 4 of Behind the Paw here at Frostburg State. This week, talking with men's and women's tennis. Here we have Shea Przywieczerski and Tim Goldring from the women's and the men's teams, respectively. So Shea, coming right out of high school, you ended up actually playing tennis and basketball throughout your high school career. What made you end up choosing tennis as a sport you wanted to play in college?
Tennis was the first that provided me an opportunity to play in college, and it also was the one I had the most success in. My high school basketball career towards the end wasn't the best, to put it that way, and tennis really, my performance there excelled a lot more.
And for Tim, growing up, you actually have a twin brother, Jeffrey, who's also on the men's tennis team. What was it like growing up, having a twin brother and playing the same sport? Was it competitive? Were you guys trying to help each other? What was that like in your childhood?
So it was kind of both. It was competitive because in a sport, you're always competing. And the same way, we help each other because at the same time, that's my brother. And just having someone that grow up with you and just having someone like play a sport with you, it just feels amazing. So.
And then, so did the two of you play doubles? Did you do that in high school? Do you still do it now? What do you do on the tennis court with each other?
Yeah, so in high school, we played doubles together here at Frostburg. We played doubles, but not for like our regular season matches. Like during practice, we'll play with each other. And we have a strong bond, so I would say we work really well together.
For the both of you, what ended up bringing you to Frostburg? Tim, you can start out on this one.
Okay, well, I know for myself, what brought me to Frostburg is that I wanted to play tennis, and I came and visited here at Frostburg, and I got like that home feeling sensation, knowing that I belong here. So I chose to come here because I know that I feel right here and that I belong here.
For me, Frostburg wasn't initially like my first choice. I was about to go to University of Maryland, the College Park campus, but for their engineering program there. But then I got recruited to come play here, and when I came and did my tour, met some of the team, like Tim said, it really does have that homey feel, and I felt like I never liked a small school until I came here, and I realized I liked the vibe that was going on here. So I looked further into it, and I can actually do my same engineering program, but from here.
And so, Tim, coming in as a freshman, you actually won your first 2 matches at your first meet, first in the singles and then a doubles. What was it like being in that moment and coming out with a bang in your first meet ever?
Honestly, it was surreal. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had to like soak in the moment. I almost cried. I'm not gonna lie, cause it just felt so amazing. But nah, overall, it felt good. It felt like I won $1 million.
And so, Shea, you actually ended up being on fire yourself when you came in as a freshman. You won your first 4 matches overall. What did you do to prepare yourself?
Coming in, as a freshman, I really wanted to prove myself and prove that I was meant to be here to play tennis. And so I took full opportunity of, I had a good opportunity to beat those girls, and I took full advantage of it.
So, Tim, in your sophomore year, you came in and you ended up playing a match against number 13 ranked Mary Washington at the time, a great tennis program they've been for a long time. Played a 3-set match. It was 2-6, 7-5, 6-10. What was it like playing a marathon match that lasted that long?
Okay, so overall, it was exhausting. I just had to keep telling myself to keep going and keep pushing. It honestly felt like that it was just never end. So what I just had to do is just keep pushing myself, just keep making sure that I'm working hard and staying focused. Even though it didn't turn out in my favor, I know I played my best and I tried my hardest to stay fighting. So.
Shea, you ended up having your own marathon match last year against California University of Pennsylvania and did 6-7, 6-2, 12-10, of which that's 12-10 is the longest set that I've personally seen in a college match. How did that end up for you, and what was it like playing that long of a match?
Yeah, those matches are definitely pretty hard. Like Tim said, they're exhausting, and towards the end, it really just turns into 2 things, like who has better endurance and who has a stronger mental game. Because it's just you out there on the court. I mean, your coach comes by and talks to you, but it's really just you out there against the other girl. And when it gets down towards the end, it's just fighting off your own mistakes and trying to stay consistent.
And so with the French Open going on right now, do you guys have any players that you look up to when you're looking to get better in the sport? And Shea, you can start off on this one.
I try to watch as much as I can, but being a college student, I don't really have it's accessible right now. But I definitely love watching. My 2 favorites are the Bryan brothers. They actually just retired though, but they're the ones I learned how to play doubles from. I would watch their matches and their reviews and watch all their film, and I actually got to see them in person last summer, and that was just great for me. They're my favorite.
And for me, I haven't watched the French Open in a little while because of practice, and my cable's messed up right now. So yeah, but my favorite player, I would have to say, is Stan Wawrinka. And why? Because I feel as though he's a versatile player, and I don't have the similar playing style as him, but I could work up to that. And I really like how he constructs his points.
So Tim, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. As people might know, here at Frostburg, we do headshots for all of our athletes over the years, and I want to know what's going through your head here in your sophomore photo, as you're only smiling in 1 year.
All right. So yeah, sophomore year, that was a great year for me. Like everything was going well. Like my classes was good, family was good. I was just really positive. I'm really positive in all these photos. I was just trying to look real serious, but this 1 year was just such a good year for me. I just couldn't contain it, so I just had to show the teeth.
And so, Shea, what was it like playing an individual sport after coming from basketball and tennis in high school, where tennis is all on your own instead of basketball where you're with your team and kind of relying on each other?
It's really different than a team sport in the way that everything you do is dependent on yourself. So even though you're playing someone else, like the way coach tells us to think about it is like you work on your game first. Don't let what they do affect your game. Let your game affect theirs. So you call your own shots and you make your own plays and let them mess up. So even though there's two people on the court, it really is just one person out there, and it all comes down to how well you can perform by yourself and staying mentally strong and keeping yourself in the game.
Tim, I'll ask you the same thing about playing an individual sport all on your own where everything is kind of up to you.
Honestly, I would say it's a lot of reassurance that you have to have within yourself and staying positive. Piggybacking off what Shea said, it's really it's a lot going on up here. Like, despite what's going on the court, it's a lot going on in your head. Like, if you miss a shot, if you get frustrated, because once you lose up here, you lose on the court. So I would say it's a lot of positive reassurance that you have to have for yourself.
And so what are your plans after Frostburg? Shea, you mentioned about wanting to go to Maryland for engineering, and you're majoring in engineering here. What are you looking to do after your time here?
After Frostburg, I'm really looking to get into some type of engineering, consulting, design firm. I'm also looking just to travel. Like, the places I've been applying for internships, I'm open to go anywhere. I don't have anything holding me back necessarily to stay in Maryland, so I just want to travel, see places, and really get to experience some different things in the job field.
And Tim, you're majoring in sociology now. What are your plans for after Frostburg?
So, my plans are after Frostburg. I'm planning to go to the Air Force. And so within the Air Force, I graduate that. I'm trying to become an occupational health and safety specialist.
Well, that concludes this episode of Behind the Paw. I want to thank our two athletes for being here with us today. Join us on Friday when we talk to men's and women's head tennis coach Jeff Splinter.